It's only fair that Sulemana gets a minute or two before we go on break and return to tie in what we are looking at now with the issue of the public services and whether or not they are unproductive, underpaid, or overpaid. Yes, Sule.
Well, Samson, I think that the extent to which what is happening is quite obnoxious is something that is accepted by consensus. We've all established that what is happening now is just not the right thing. It's not fair, it's unjust, and unsustainable. The question then is, how do we go forward? As I said before, and you have reiterated that point, the need to fix our constitution. We have a president who says, this is the constitution that has supported our democracy for the last 30 years. We need to be careful about thinking of overhauling it. At the same time, it is the constitution that is interpreted in diverse ways to create the condition that we have for ourselves today. For me, what can solve it outside of a constitutional amendment is having a leader who is patriotic, who is committed to the future of this country. And by a leader, I mean the president. And of course, if you have such a president, committed and determined to ensure that the right things are done, to ensure that these wrongs that we've committed over the years are corrected, we would begin to see some steps towards dealing with what we are confronted with. But unless that happens, again, even to overhaul the Constitution, you still require that leader who says, yes, I see a lot wrong with this Constitution, and yes, we should fix it. So it all comes with leadership, and as we go about selecting our leaders and all of that, maybe it should be part of the conversation. 2024, can we make the overhaul of the Constitution one of the requirements that a candidate must say, yes, I will do it, and when I get power, I will do it, as one of those that will determine who becomes the next president of our country. Otherwise, we just run it into a ditch and we keep going, even though we are being cautioned. We keep going. And I don't know whether we want to land into that ditch before we start seeing how we come out of it. What is happening is certainly terrible. And it also comes with individuals of conscience. I think people must begin to ask themselves, is this thing that I'm doing right? And all the money that I have, how much I've made over the years, what would this do to me? Like Toby has done. And I think that we need to continue to celebrate people like that.
So that you don't seem to agree with Dr. Yakotu when he says, once we bring in individuals and this, emotive issues, then we will obfuscate the issue, we will lose focus. But whilst, for example, to be frank with you, whilst when Martin is speaking, I feel I should do what it takes to restrain him a bit. I find also that, bringing the human individuals' faces in it helps a better appreciation. I'm asking myself, the moral question has been asked before. President Mahama is left office, okay? He left office on his salary. We are paying him the money that he was in office and taking. As and when it improves, he will continue to take the money as it is improved. The 2 vehicles or so change every 3 years, he will continue to enjoy. All the other benefits that he is entitled, he will continue to enjoy. He would have taken his ex-Gratia, and yet he'll be benefiting from all of that. And people ask the moral question. Shouldn't an individual, for example, take the view that once I'm not there anymore and I have other opportunities, I should give it up like Toby Afede did?
Well, Samson, I think it's important to emphasize the fact that what we are talking about right now, the problem that we have, is not just limited to the current regime. So it's not an Akufo-Addo issue. I think it predates him. President Mahama supervised and endorsed it and did it, and he is benefiting from it. Now he wants to come back to be president. I think we have to ask questions. If he didn't find anything wrong with that kind of system and supervised it, presided over it, did not, make any concrete, tangible, evidential effort to ensure that this whole constitutional creation, which has resulted in this, is dealt with. I mean, how do we trust that back into office we can have the best done under him? But certainly we have to celebrate individuals who are distinguishing themselves. Like the lady was saying, we celebrated the guy who returned the 8,000, including the vice president donating 20,000 to him. What was the essence? To inspire more people to do the same thing. And yet, the same people, if the same people who see what the guy did as an inspiration, also do the same things that, you know, we are all condemning, then you ask yourself, is it an act of hypocrisy or what? And so people like Toby Afede, we need to celebrate them. People like the taxi driver, we need to celebrate them so that we all get inspired to do the right thing.
We'll take a break here and return to very limited time, try and tie it in on the issue of remuneration and productivity. But I think that the jury is out there whether or not Article 71 office holders have a conscience. We'll be right back.